My path into the profession of political science was a long story of backward steps rather than intentionality. I grew up in South Florida in the 1950s and 1960s in the midst of desegregation, and was caught in my time in grade school and junior high school dealing with a whole set of issues about a world that had changed very dramatically the first years of desegregation. And I became very involved in my own schools in dealing with a lot of the complexities that were raised around race relations, and became very instrumental in working with students of color and others to try and make a very difficult situation work out. And that raised a series of questions for me about the changes that were going on. How do big changes in society take place? How are they received? What are the politics behind them? And I continued those interests and became more and more politically active through my teen years. I was involved in labor politics, and I was involved in anti-war politics in my high school, and very involved in politics in school. Carried that interest on as an undergraduate. I studied political science and philosophy and literature and a variety of issues, had several majors. And I was not really ever thinking about becoming a professor of political science. But I was interested in politics, and I was engaged in politics, and I thought my wife wanted to move out of the South into the West Coast and learn about politics. Maybe I would be more effective or have a better idea about what I was doing by studying politics, but it was really never intending to even complete a PhD program or become a professor. But once I went to graduate school, I probably became more challenged intellectually than I had ever been in my, I think, schooling career. And I stayed on, completed my PhD, took a faculty job. I was still uncertain, even with my first faculty job, whether I would continue to do that. I always wanted to be a labor organizer. But I found the challenges and the work of being a professor to be very exciting, and I found that I could stay active in politics and be a professor, and I came to learn that I love teaching, which is something that I never had thought about very much and had never really imagined, but seemed to be something of a calling. So research and teaching was something I never dreamed of doing when I was young, but once I started doing it, I said, this is where I belong.